Father, I want to be a Twilight Knight just like you.
You will one day. You will. Well, let's talk more after I come back.
Hide here and don't look outside. Wake up, Snow.
Yes, Shade, yes.
I heard the lion's roar. Where? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that alarm button. Hello YouTube, Jace here from Lantern Side Story, and Happy New Year! Didn't expect the year to change between the videos. I'm sorry for your long waiting, but now I'm here to present you the first episode of Kingdom Death's story, Snow the Twilight Knight. This is based on my Kingdom Death Monster playthrough. If you don't know what Kingdom Death Monster is or new to the channel, click this card right here to check out my introduction video. This series will focus more on the story rather than the game mechanism, and I hope everyone who knows or don't know Kingdom Death Monster to enjoy it. There still can be a potential spoilers in terms of gameplay, so please bear that in mind before watching it. Now, let's get the show on the road. In the world of darkness called Kingdom Death, a handful of survivors woke up on the floor of stone faces. Drawn to the light of the lantern, they gathered together. The world around them and each other's are a mystery to themselves, as if their memories and knowledge were stripped from themselves. But there was no time to think, because there was something else in the darkness with them. Before anyone noticed, the white lion attacked the survivors. Panic, fear, people started to run, all but 3 of them. Their names were Ricardo, Ivory, and Eleanor. They stood against the lion, holding the broken founding stone on their hands. And there was one more, a man with a large sword on his back, Snow. He picked up a founding stone like the rest of them and stood beside them. Snow, I will lead the other survivors to safety. Kill the beast and find me. I will! The beast's first target was Eleanor. Her golden hair attracted the lion. Before anyone reacted, the lion pounced onto Eleanor and attacked her with his claws. Snow, however, was not standing there idle. He threw the founding stone onto the lion's strange, human-like hands. The stone exploded, breaking the hand, and the lion screamed from the pain. Snow clenched his empty fist. He felt a strange power flowing into him. Lion and the survivors exchanged the blows, but only a few made through its tough hide. That tickle on his side was enough to make Lion mad. It was Eleanor again. Lion mauled Eleanor, digging its claws deep into her waist. She was knocked down, bleeding from the wound, and her hip was dislocated. She will have to bear that wound permanently if she survives the day. Survivors desperately attacked the lion with stones and feast, but to no avail. Triumphantly, Lion glared upon Eleanor once again, a look of terror that could haunt the mind of even the bravest of men. But Eleanor did not look away. In the bloodbath of herself lying, she looked right in the beast's eye without even blinking. The lion seemed bemused. Ricardo saw the opportunity and swung the stone from the back. It almost cut off its tail, but failed. Startled lion darted forward, and on its way, it grabbed Eleanor with it like a burger from the drive-thru. Ivory and Snow followed the lion to save Eleanor, but the lion was too far. We need to do something, Ivory thought. But how? Think! She looked at the founding stone on her hand and looked at the lion, and she threw her weapon. The stone exploded on the lion's femur, breaking its leg, and she managed to slow the lion down. But we all know that lion doesn't like to get hurt. It turned to Ivory, and a powerful swat followed, but the lion fumbled its blow, missing by the inches. With a furious war cry, Snow hopped on the lion's back and strangled the beast's neck with his arms. The lion tried to get him off, but instead it fell down to the side, opening the opportunity for others to attack. Eleanor, who finally stood up after all those attacks from the monster, raised her weapon high and struck the beast with all her strength left. And Ricardo finally managed to wound the monster for the first time. The monster twisted its body to get back up, but it was barely breathing, weakened, exhausted. They all knew that the monster is cornered, but it would not go down that easy. With the last efforts, the lion thrashed its hands and the blow struck Ricardo like a truck, knocking him down to the ground. But Snow would not let the monster do any more damage. He rushed to the enemy and delivered the final blow, and the lion fell to the ground. They learned a lot from the battle and got a lot of resources too. Holding the broken strange hand of the monster, Snow felt his mind twisting with grotesque hideousness of its weird resemblance to the human hands. The survivors wandered in the darkness to find if anyone survived, and luckily they found the other survivors who were gathered around a big pile of lanterns. "The lantern horde," Snow murmured. There were 6 survivors waiting them, but Shade was nowhere to find. One of the survivors approached to Snow and dragged him to the center of the lantern horde, and there he found Shade. She was sitting amidst a strange artifact, a relic. She was holding a cube with her both hands, and her eyes were closed. "Snow, is that you?" "Yes, what's going on?" "I don't have time to explain. I need to examine this relic, and I want you to protect this relic with all the strength and resources you got with these people. Can you do it?" "I don't know. I don't think I'm ready." "I guess we don't have a choice. Take my amulet with you. It will restore your strength to fight on each years. It should not be given to the trainee, but rules are there to break, right? I don't have time to explain. Snow, be strong. I hope to see you again." "Wait, what?" And the blinding light flashed from the relic. After a few minutes, Snow finally opened his eyes and saw Shade frozen like a rock. And Snow was left there alone with all the mysteries and questions without any clue. Snow went out to see others. The 9 of them were staring at him, and they seemed so helpless like little lambs. Meanwhile, Ivory was standing next to the entrance listening to the conversation, and by doing so, she learned how to speak as if it came back from the memory. When Snow came out, she approached him and uttered the first words. Hey, I have a question." Snow looked back with worries. Whatever she will ask, he don't think he will have an answer, for he was as confused and worried as others. But he could not stop there either. Ivory's lips moved, and she asked what everyone wanted to ask him. "Why weren't you using your sword?" Snow stared at her with blank expression, and he smiled. "I'm just a trainee. This, the Twilight Sword, can only be wielded by those who are qualified. Well, I'll try my best to find a way to use it as soon as possible." "That's alright. With or without your sword, you've proven your worth today." "Hella better than you did." True. And they all laughed. Will this be a hopeful start? We will have to see. So, how do you like it? Please share your thoughts on the comment section, like who do you think the MVP was? Let me briefly explain the reason behind Snow not using his sword. I'm playing this game with Twilight Knight and Training variant, which lets you start with the Twilight Knight, who has 3 levels of proficiency, which is huge. The problem is, only the insane character can use Twilight Sword, and this character begins with no insanity at all. Insanity in Kingdom Death Monster works like an armor to your mentality. Basically, you're crazy enough to laugh at the crazy horror this world throws at you. And Twilight Sword itself has something crazy about it. And that's where the opening sequence came from. On the next video, I will make time to explain some of the rules I applied in this playthrough to make it easier for you to understand what's going on. Before we finish, I want to express my gratitude to all of you. The first video was a blast. It passed over 1,000 views and we already have more than 100 subscribers. Yay! I couldn't thank you enough for all your support, and I know the only way to repay your love is to make more videos. So stay tuned for more will be coming. Thanks again for all of you, and I'll be seeing you next time.